everyone, I hope you're well and you're good. I'm so happy to be back finally with the live videos. I've been waiting for a long time, but the Premier League went away. We had a bit of break. International football is not my cup of tea. So I was waiting for the live, and today I'm going to discuss on the Premier League Game Week 9. And along with that, tomorrow I'll come with the Chelsea talks, Chelsea Palace preview, and a lot more stuff. So before starting, people, do subscribe to the video, do like the content, do like the channel, and please, people, support the channel. It means a lot. Your support is the one that keeps me going. So now, starting off with the Premier League game week, and this is the fixtures we've got this week. We've got some very exciting matches to look forward to. We've got Arsenal versus Tottenham, we've got Liverpool versus Brighton, we've got Fulham versus Newcastle, Southampton versus Everton, Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Bournemouth, Brentford, West Ham United versus Wolves, Manchester City versus Manchester United, Leeds versus Aston Villa, and Leicester versus Nottingham Forest. So people, being very, very honest, these are some very exciting fixtures compiled into 1 week. That's the best way for Premier League football to be back. The best fixtures we all look forward to. For me, on one game week, we have got the Nottingham derby, we've got the Manchester derby, we've got Palace versus Chelsea, the London derby, we've also got West Ham versus Wolves, we've got relegation derby between Leicester and Nottingham Forest, we've also got Leeds versus Aston Villa, where Aston Villa is struggling, Southampton, Everton, and Fulham, Newcastle. So we've got exciting fixtures, people, to look forward this week. So starting off with the first fixture today to discuss on, and first of all, let's start with the Northampton derby, Arsenal versus Tottenham. So starting off my discussion on Arsenal. Arsenal have been so good this season, people. I've been really envying them as a Chelsea fan. They have been beautiful this season to watch. They are the best team when it comes to playing football. They're the best team to watch right now. Manchester City are a successful team. They're the best in the world. So sometimes you get bored by it. But Arsenal right now are the best team in the league to watch. They're the most enjoyable team in the football to watch right now. And the way Arsenal are playing, people, I have a lot of respect for them. They're playing some fantastic football and it's so good on the eye to watch. So on Arsenal right now, the thing has been, people have been talking about test after test after test, and they have been passing about. Yes, I will say one thing, that when the Europa League fixtures kick in, that's where the real test for Arsenal will begin and how they are ready this season. I will never take away my words that when they will be able to handle Europa League in Thursday and the Premier League on Sundays, when Europa League will get towards the quarter-final stages, semi-final stages, that's where for me the real test for Arsenal will come, because I still think their backups are not to the level that the starting 11 is. But do not be mistaken, they have gone away to Brentford and won, a place they used to struggle. They've already beaten Crystal Palace away from home, the places they used to struggle. Yes, they've lost to United, but they have done very well so far in the other matches as well. They have been beating teams they used to. They've been beating mostly every team in a convincing fashion, and that is the way you pull out a statement to the whole Premier League that you're made up of. Now, will they stay top four? Now, many people so far in the predictions have been making on that Arsenal will be finishing the top four. Many people have been caught on whether Chelsea can get the top four, United can get the top four. So top four is something that's very difficult to predict. So will they stay top four? I think that's difficult. But will they stay top? That's the top of the Premier League. I just don't think so. I think, let's be brutally honest, Manchester City are level above everyone. And Arsenal might continue this form for some time, but they will fall off. The injuries will sadly circle upon them. We are seeing the World Cup effect on them as well. The qualification matches, UEFA Nation League matches. Arsenal has some injuries now to deal with. They have Partey, who is doubtful for this game. Odegaard, who is doubtful for this game. They've also got Zinchenko, who is doubtful for this game. Benjamin White is a very, very big doubt for this game as well. So you've got so many players compiled in who are doubtful to play this game. And this is why, in my humble opinion, I think they won't be able to at least stay top, because the lineup they've got, I don't think the second string lineup is at the level that Manchester City have. So they're not going to stay top. Yes, on top four, that's very, very possible, but that will be only be spoken about when we get to the later stages of the campaign. Going on, Tottenham. And Tottenham have really been an efficient team so far. They haven't been the most prettiest team to watch. Many people have not liked them. Many people have not loved watching them so far. Many people have been complaining about the way Tottenham play football. Many people have been not really impressed by Tottenham and discussing about are they good enough or not. Many people still are doubting them that can they finish top 3, top 2. But I think they've been an efficient side which deserves a lot of respect. Yes, they haven't been like Arsenal. They haven't been like City, where they're pummel pass opponents, but they have done their job as required. I can tell you one thing, people. Harry Kane, Son, and Kulusevski, Richarlison attack will only get better. Son has not fired this season so far. Kulusevski has been fighting rotation with Richarlison. And overall, so far, even Harry Kane has been playing so well, and even still, you cannot say he's at his best. Tottenham will only improve. Defensively, they're looking very, very solid so far. Lenglet has performed well whenever required. Perisic is making a massive impact to the Tottenham team, defensively, attackingly, especially he's having a massive impact. Højbjerg and Bentancur are really making it tough for Bissouma to come back into the team, which is a massive positive, and that already brings on competition for paces as well. You go towards the other position, even Sessegnon when required has played well. Dyer has been an absolute leader. You go towards Romero. Romero has not played much this season and he's a very good defender. Ben Davies has really been 50-50 this season, not at his best but not at his worst. Hugo Lloris has been good this season as well. So Tottenham, even after not playing so well, are sitting unbeaten. Yes, you can say that these things are not sustainable. At some point, Tottenham will crash. That opinion is acceptable. But you can also go towards a different way and say that they're not playing at the best and still getting results. And once they start playing at the best, they could be unstoppable. There are always two sides to a story, and therefore, for Tottenham Hotspur, you can say the both sides. You can say that this is not sustainable and they will fall off, but you can also say that they're not at the best, and once they get to the best, they're going to be tough to stop. In the league, it's very important to grind out results as well. And so far, Tottenham Hotspur have been showing us what they are really capable of. Now, the question arises, can they finally register a win at Emirates Stadium? In the last 5 meetings, Arsenal have won 4 of them, 1 have been a draw. So overall, Spurs do not like to go to Emirates, and in the same way, Arsenal don't like to go towards Tottenham Stadium. So the problem is, both the sides and the derby are home dominant team, and they do not like to go away. In the last 5 matches, Arsenal have won 4 of them, 1 has been a draw, which only shows a dismal record Tottenham have away to Emirates. Last year, under the management of Nuno Espirito Santos, they were absolutely hammered, destroyed. That in the first half, it could have been 4-0 Arsenal, 5-0 Arsenal. They were absolutely destroyed, peppered. So they were absolutely humiliated away to Arsenal. And this is one stadium, just like Stamford Bridge, that Tottenham do not like to visit. So can they finally register a win at the Emirates? I'll come later to this in the video in the prediction part. Now, on the match preview, let's be brutally honest, this is going to be attack versus defense. This is Arsenal's attack versus Tottenham defense. I think Arsenal, if they play like they did against Manchester United, I think that's a recipe for disaster, because against Manchester United, they left a lot of space to be desired, which was countered off by Rashford, Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes, and they made the most of it. The problem is, if Arsenal play the way they did against Manchester United, Tottenham is really going to pull them apart and win 2-1, 3-1. I think it's important for Arsenal to be defensively solid as well. While for Antonio Conte, we all know that Antonio Conte is going to make his Tottenham side being very tough to beat and countering whenever required. That's the way Tottenham are going to play. So it's literally going to be an attack, a team that wants to express themselves, a team that wants to dominate possession against the other team that does not want to do so. They want to counter, they want to defend well. So it's a very mismatch of philosophies, and this what makes a North London derby so special this year. Now, coming to the prediction part, for me, in my humble opinion, I think Tottenham is going to win this game. I think Arsenal are going to play their attractive brand of football. They're going to be caught on counters often, and that's where I think players like Harry Kane, Son, Kulusevski, and from the bench Richarlison, they're going to really counter them. And this is why I think this is the 1-3 Tottenham Hotspur written all over it. I think Arsenal are going to destroy the statistics. It could easily be 60% possession Arsenal, 40 Tottenham. It could easily be 20 shots to Arsenal, 7 to Tottenham. It could easily be proper passing by Arsenal as compared to Tottenham. But overall, in the end, the result matters. And I think Harry Kane, Son, Kulusevski on the counter will make Arsenal pay. And this is why I think this match is going to end Arsenal 1, Tottenham Hotspur 3. Going on towards the next fixture, and talking about the next fixture, this match is between Liverpool versus Brighton. I'm so sorry I've written Liverpool wrong. I apologize for that. Now, the first question that arises is, will we see another Liverpool run of 10 wins in a row? We all know Liverpool are capable of it. We all know that if there's any team in the Premier League that's capable of doing like that, that's Liverpool. So will we see another Liverpool run of 10 wins in a row with the way they have been struggling? Now people coming onto it, see, it is possible if they keep their whole squad injury free. We all know that Thiago in the midfield is such a big part of Liverpool. And if Thiago is fit for the whole campaign, you've got Fabinho, you've got Henderson. If Salah stays fit for the whole campaign, then you can even partner him with Jota. You can put Diaz. If Robertson, Trent stay fit for the whole campaign, if even Konate or Van Dijk stay fit for the whole campaign, they are capable of winning the Champions League. They're capable of still winning the Premier League. But the problem with Liverpool is injury crisis is setting in. The World Cup year is there. Van Dijk is going to play a massive part for Netherlands. You're going to have other players as well who are going to be involved in the World Cup. Virgil van Dijk, the one of the most important players, is going to play a massive part. Trent also, let's see how much England involve him. But at the moment, he might also play a big part. And you go towards other part of the team as well. Salah is rested for the World Cup as his team is not qualified. So that's a big positive for Liverpool fans as well. So it's very unpredictable right now. Liverpool are the most capable team in the league to do it. But if the injuries strike in, that could be very difficult for them to achieve. Now, that brings me to our Liverpool still in the title race or top four battle. Now, many people with this start have been starting on things that Liverpool can finish fifth, Liverpool can finish sixth, Liverpool can finish fifth, sixth. Now, I'm not against anyone's opinion. I'm going to make it very clear. I'm not against anyone. I'm not against anyone's opinion. I respect everyone. I respect everyone's opinion. And this is the game of opinion and respect to you all. The only point, people, I want to make about Liverpool, I want to make about the top four battle is, see, we need to be brutally honest with ourselves. The thing with Liverpool is they're still the most efficient side in the league when it comes to getting results. You can have sometimes Van Dijk step up, Robertson, Trent, Salah, Diaz, Jota. You've got a team that is of superstars. That is why they were capable of plucking out a result against Newcastle. That is why they got a draw even with 10 men against Palace. Even then against Liverpool, Fulham, they were destroyed, but still pulled off a draw. That's the specialty of Liverpool. And whether it's your opinion, I don't think Liverpool in any way will fall out of top four. That is just impossible. Now, are they in a title race? Now, people, this is a question which is very difficult to answer. For me, they will always be in the title race because they're one of the most dominant team when it comes to winning in a row. If they all players are fit, they're the most capable team in the world to go on a massive streak of victories. That's what they are. They are one of the best team in the world when it comes to winning a lot of matches. But that brings me to a bit of concerning point. If they have a bit of injuries, Thiago does not stay fit for the whole campaign, so that's the number one point. If, let's say, on the other hand, Trent, sadly, if this doesn't happen because of injury, so they have no cover. And this is where, for me, Liverpool get exposed. And for me, unlike last year where they took City till the end, I don't think that's going to be possible this year. Mane is going to be a massive miss. Darwin, I think, will settle and do well, but Darwin needs time. And this is why I don't think Liverpool are in title race this year, but they will comfortably finish top four in my humble opinion. Now, going to De Zerbi, and the question arises, and PB Talks, Prasanna brother in the chat, people do subscribe to his channel, PB Talks, easy to remember. Do subscribe to his channel, some fantastic cricket content, football content, and a lot more stuff. So do subscribe to PB Talks, and thank you, Prasanna brother, to join. I think Liverpool win, Chelsea draw, North London derby draw, and Man City win. I do agree with some of that. I do think Liverpool will win, but I'm getting a bit of positive feeling for Chelsea because the manager bounce. While I think Tottenham is going to beat Arsenal 1-3, and I think Manchester City and United is going to be 2-2 draw. That's my humble opinion in this regards. Now that brings me to the question of Brighton. Can De Zerbi carry on what Potter achieved? Will they finish in the top 10? Now, De Zerbi is a very good manager who did a fantastic job at South Solo. He's a very good manager who plays a very attractive brand of football. So yes, De Zerbi can carry what Potter achieved. De Zerbi can do what Potter did. Now it comes to the question, will they get the top 10? Now, people, being very humbly honest here with you all, I don't think so they're going to finish in the top 10. Let's be brutally honest. In January, Leandro Trossard can be taken away from them by Chelsea. Mac Allister can even go in January. Sadly, that's the story of the club which are developing in the later part. That's what happens with Leicester. That's what happens with Brighton's. Sadly, you make players so great, but then the bigger teams come in and take them away. You get the good money, but then you have to restart the process. And that is why these sides are not able to achieve what's required of them. And this is why, sadly, I think Trossard or a Mac Allister, I think they will go away in January. And this is why I don't think Brighton will come in top 10. But I think they will comfortably come in top 12, top 30 in my humble opinion. Now, coming to the match preview, I think this is going to be Brighton dominating Liverpool right now. I think Brighton can dominate anyone on the day, but Liverpool will be strong. Liverpool will make Anfield crowd roaring today. And I think, in my humble opinion, I think Liverpool is going to win this match. They cannot afford more losses in a row. They have to win some matches. They have only 9 points in 6 matches, 2 wins, 3 draws, 1 defeat. And right now, Liverpool are absolutely struggling for form, consistency. And this is why, for me, it's going to be Liverpool 3 and it's going to be Brighton 1. That's my prediction for this game for Liverpool versus Brighton. Going on towards the next game, that is Southampton versus Everton. A massive game in the different direction. Now, the question arises, are Southampton in a relegation battle and have they got enough goals? Now, coming on to Southampton, and this is going to surprise some people, but they are a big relegation candidates in my humble opinion. Now, why I think so is because I think the goals in the team are very much lacking. For the goals, it depends a lot on Che Adams and Gene Ward-Prowse set pieces. That is not a sustainable way. Along with that, I think Salisu is doing a fantastic job. Kotchup is a fantastic defender. I think Kyle Walker-Peters is a very good right back. You go towards keeper, I think Bazunu is not as good as Foster, but he's doing a good job. I think Lavia is a very good signing, but I think they lack a lot of goals and they still lack a lot of balance on the wings as well. I've not been impressed so much by Elinusi. I think Stuart Armstrong this year has not been at his best. I think sadly for me, Southampton are massively struggling so far, and I cannot see Southampton stay up for me. In my humble opinion, I'm so sorry if Southampton fans are here, but I do think they're going to be relegated this year. They haven't got enough goals in the team. Defensively, they're very much caught out, and this is why I cannot see them surviving this year. Now, coming on to Everton and starting with the Chelsea legend, Frank Lampard, one of my favorite players for Chelsea. Now, many people had Everton as a favorite to be relegated this year. Many people were saying that Everton could be the first team to be relegated this year. Many people are chatting about Everton getting relegated, not good enough. But if you be brutally honest, they've done a very good transfer window work, in my humble opinion. Tarkowski and Cody were magnificent signings in the defense. Tarkowski, Cody at the back makes them already very strong people. You go towards in the striking department, they've covered it up by Neil Maupay. Now, nobody can cover up what Richarlison did, and Richarlison is now gone to Tottenham. But Neil Maupay can be a good backup to Calvert-Lewin, can do the job. Onana, Idrissa Gueye in the midfield are some very good signings. I think Dwight McNeil is a very good signing. Demarai Gray, already they've got a player who is so good. You go towards Ruben Vinagre, that's a good signing as a backup towards the left back position. Peterson has played well, a young player at the right back as well. And they've got a very good defense of Tarkowski, Cody at the centre back, Pickford as a goalkeeper. They've still got Doucouré as well, who's a very good midfielder. And I think they're doing a good job. Frank Lampard is building a great connection with the Everton fans. The crowd is roaring. The players are fighting for him. And right now, they're defensively becoming a solid team. And I think Everton this season are going to have a lot of 1-0 results, 0-0 draw. And this is why I do see Everton be one of the surprise team and comfortably survive this season, in my humble opinion. Now, coming on the match preview and the prediction for the match. Now, on this match, I think pressure is more on Southampton because it's the home game. For Everton, it's an away game. They have to come here. They have to do a good job. And they have to perform well, in my humble opinion, for Everton. It's an away game. They have to absorb the pressure, counter, and score whenever they can. That is the thing that Everton will have to do. And this is where I think Everton will like to go to away grounds, play, be defensively solid, and counter or score from the set piece. That will be their strength. But coming to Southampton, this is a pressure game from them. They're struggling for points. These are the games you have to win. Bar the Chelsea victory, they haven't been so good this campaign. Yes, they've beaten Leicester, but Leicester are one of the worst side in the league. Yes, they've beaten Chelsea, but we have seen Chelsea so far this season. They have been ridiculously bad. They've lost to United. They drew 2-2 versus Leeds. So they have been iffy as well. They lost to Tottenham away 4-1. So these are the things we have to remember. And Southampton have to get victories in a row, at least to get away from the relegation part as well. Now, coming to the prediction part of this match, and for me, this match has a Southampton 1, Everton 2 written all over it. I think Tarkowski, Cody, and the goalkeeper Pickford, they've got Doucouré, they've got Onana, Idrissa Gueye. I think they've got even Iwobi playing in the midfield. I think they're getting a very solid team and they're building a base. And defensively, Everton are going to be a tough team to stop. And from the set pieces, they've got the ability of Cody, Tarkowski. They have a striker like Maupay who on the counters can do the work for them. Calvert-Lewin can do the job whenever required. I think right now with Demarai Gray as well, Everton are looking very solid. And I do see Everton win this game. For me, it's going to be Southampton 1 and it's going to be Everton 2. Welcome, Potato Boy in the chat. Big Tottenham fan. And I do agree with you, sir. I think it's going to be Everton victory. For me, it's going to be Southampton 1. It's going to be Everton 2. Going towards the next part of the video now. Talking about Bournemouth versus Brentford. Another very interesting match from the matches we've got. Now, the question around Bournemouth arises that can Bournemouth survive this season? For me, in my humble opinion, there's no chance in hell for me they're going to survive this season. I'm so sorry, but I cannot see them survive. I think they are building a project like what Norwich do. They're going to go back. They're again going to come back up. I think they're building a more sustainable way. But But I don't think Bournemouth are going to survive this season. Let's be brutally honest. They don't have the resources. They don't have the team to continue for the 38 league games. Billing is good. Solanke is good. But I still don't think they're attackingly so much they can get them goals at a regular interval. This is why, for me, Bournemouth will not be able to survive this season. And I think they are a certainty to go down. Now that brings me to Brentford. Now, Brentford have had a bit of mixed start to the season. They've beaten Leeds 5-2, Manchester United 4-0, but they've been hammered at home by Arsenal. They were also beaten by Fulham away. They've been conceding a lot of goals this season as well. So it's a bit of doubt about Brentford. That attackingly, they are a lot more dependent on Tony. So when Tony, if let's say in the whole campaign, he cannot play every game, then what happens? Defensively, we have known Brentford to be very, very solid, but they are becoming very, very leaky, which is not a good sign. So Brentford right now are struggling defensively, and they have had a very mixed start to the season. Some point they have put on some great displays, but at some points they have been really, really draws to watch. Now that brings the question: can they finish in the top 12? For me, there's no chance they're finishing the top 12. For me, Brentford will be around 15 to 16th, and that's the best I think they're going to do. They're overly dependent on Tony. I won't even be surprised if Chelsea, even United, or someone makes a move for him in January. And I cannot see Brentford finish in the top 15, top 16. I think it's going to be 16th rank for them, and that's the best they're going to do, in my humble opinion. That brings me to the match preview and the prediction. So Bournemouth at home. This is the fixtures they have to win if they have any dream of surviving. And this is why I think Bournemouth will bring their A game in. They're going to be intensity. There's going to be desire. They're going to pull everything. But I do think Brentford will going to show Bournemouth what Premier League is. I think Brentford will be physical. They're going to be very strong from the set pieces. They have the Premier League experience. They have players like Janssen. They have players like Tony and Bumu. They have Darnell. So they have some very good players as well. And this is why I do see Brentford getting a victory here. It's going to be Bournemouth 1. And for me, it's going to be Brentford 2. Now, going on the next match. And now bringing on the biggest match is going to be Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. And my God, people, how big of a match this is. This is a massive, massive match. Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. We all know Chelsea have a new manager in charge, Graham Potter. He had his first game in the Champions League against Red Bull Salzburg. This is his first full game as a Chelsea manager in the Premier League. Graham Potter era begins, and the first match he has to play is against Crystal Palace away. Crystal Palace are a team that always troubles the teams at home, big sides. They played very well against Arsenal, and if they had some finishing boots in them, they would have at least got a draw. They were unlucky against Manchester City because, let's be brutally honest, the goal should have been allowed and they should have been 3-0 up, and the comeback will not have been possible. Now with Crystal Palace, they've lost Conor Gallagher. That's been a massive, massive loss to them. That brings a question: will Palace rise this season or will Palace fall this year? For me, Crystal Palace are going to rise this year and they're going to get a comfortable top 10 finish for me. But you agree or not, for me, they're going to be a very, very good team this year. I think they've got goals in Wilfred Zaha, in Olise, in Eze. They have the goals in team as well. I think Patrick Vieira with all the other players as well have done a very, very good job. Mark Guhi, Joshua Anderson at the back with Tyreek Mitchell and Joel Ward. That's a very good back four with a fantastic keeper in Vincent Guaita. You've also got a very, very good team up front in Wilfred Zaha, Olise, Eduardo. You've got Eze. And the team right now is looking balanced as well. The manager has got his philosophy going in them as well. They're a very good side to watch. And this is why, for me, Crystal Palace will be comfortable top 10 this year. Now, will Chelsea finally win some games and gain momentum? For me, it's of utmost importance for Potter to get straight away at Chelsea. See, we know we have to give the manager time. And I'm very, very patient with Graham Potter. I'm going to give him the time. But we all know Chelsea fans do not give manager a lot of time. And if you do not get the top four, there's going to be a lot of toxicity of the club as well. And a lot of players will demand to leave. So it's very important for Graham Potter to start with winning momentum and win some matches in a row, win some matches to close the gap to Arsenal, Tottenham, City, even somebody can say to Manchester United, so that top four at least is possible for Chelsea this year. So now, will Chelsea win this game for me, and can Graham Potter get them to top four? For me, I do think we will win this game. I think Crystal Palace are just lacking a bit of that Conor Gallagher energy, which in big games is not helping them. And this is why I think Chelsea will just take advantage of that. And there's also going to be the natural manager bounce that always happens. Some players are going to play above their level, which they've got, which always happens when a new manager comes in. Pulisic might start playing very well now. Ziyech might play very well as well. Even Havertz, Mount, all players are going to play well. So when the new manager comes into town, always there is a bit of positivity in the campaign as well. Now, coming to the match preview, we all know Crystal Palace are going to be a tough side to break down. They're going to be defensively solid. They're going to be pressing us. They're going to have intensity, the physicality. They're going to be all over us, and it's going to be a difficult match to contend with. In my humble opinion, it's going to be a hard match. Selhurst Park bouncing, but I do think Chelsea will have enough to come in this match, and I do think it's going to be Crystal Palace 0, Chelsea 2. Hard-fought game, but just like last year, I think Chelsea will get the clinical goal they need, and I think they'll get away from that. And I think it's going to be Crystal Palace 0, it's going to be Chelsea 2. Taking a bit of charts here, and Football Creek says that Chelsea is going to win this game 3-1. I do agree, but I do see us keep clean sheet in this game, Football Creeks. And now, going to the next preview, and the next preview is about West Ham versus Wolves. A very good game, people. This is a very good game, which people are not paying attention to. Both the sides have spent heavily this summer. Both the sides, especially West Ham, have spent some massive money. Diego Costa has been signed by Wolves. You also saw players like Matheus Nunes signed by Wolves. West Ham have signed Lucas Paqueta. They have a lot of new players coming to the team as well. Kehrer. They have really spent big money. Emerson as well. Areola as well. So big money has been spent by both the sides. And both the sides have huge expectation this year. So first question that arises is, can West Ham finally string some wins? Bar the match against Aston Villa, they have not won a game this season. They are in the relegation zone, and slowly but surely, the pressure on David Moyes is starting to increase with the money they have spent. So can they finally string some wins? I think they can, but this is not going to be the game they will do it. Can they break into top 7 after a dismal start they've had so far? That is the question that's coming to everyone's mind. Can West Ham be the team to break into top 6? Can West Ham be the team to break the dominance of Big 6? They are spending huge amounts. They have good players. Declan Rice, Suchek, Paqueta, Antonio, Areola, Fabianski. They've got a good squad. Can they break the dominance? I think they can, but not right now. But I do see them comfortably come 7 this season. I know people might be surprised, but I do think West Ham will come back to the form. And I think West Ham will comfortably finish 7th for me this season. Now, will Wolves start scoring? Now, Diego Costa is a very tough case. I don't think he's going to start this game. He needs a bit of fitness as well. He's coming back after a long time. So Diego Costa playing this game, people, is not going to be possible. He might come off the bench. They're really struggling for goals as well. Neto and Podence are required to score on the counters. They're not natural strikers. So they are struggling for goals. And this season, again, I think this will continue. There are going to be a lot of matches. Wolves win 1-0, 1-0, 2-0, 2-0. If Diego Costa starts firing, this side can surprise a lot of people. But again, there are so many ifs, buts, and maybes with Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, can they finish in the top 10 is a question we all have got. Can Wolves this season come top 10? For me, they can come top 10. They can come top 10, and I think they will come top 10. They are still one of the league's best defensive sides, very solid. This season, they've been bad, but I think they'll come back to their rhythm. Nathan Collins, Kilman, they've got Al Nouri, they've got a good goalkeeper in Jusisa, Ruben Neves, Matheus Nunes, João Moutinho, good midfield. Gonzalo Guedes is a good signing. Neto is looking good. Podence is really playing well this season. I think they've got Johnny is back as well. I think they're more than enough to finish in top 10 this season. And taking a bit of question here, this might be a high scoring draw like 2-2 or 3-3 or a 1-0 West Ham win. I do agree. I've also gone for a draw, but I haven't gone for high scoring draw. I think this match is really going to end either 1-1 or a 0-0. It's going to be draws to watch. Both sides are out of form. Both sides will want to avoid a defeat. Wolves is going to be defensively tough to break down for West Ham. All the pressure is in West Ham. And this is why I see 2 set pieces goals. And I do see West Ham 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Now, coming to the next match, that is a Manchester derby. One of the biggest matches we look forward to. One of, if not the biggest match in the league this season. Now, this week is one of the biggest matches along with the North London derby. Manchester City versus Manchester United. This is a match, people, that I've been waiting for. How will Ten Hag do? How will Ten Hag fare against Pep Guardiola when he comes against top managers? How is he going to fare in this match? And it's a very important match. The Manchester derby. First question that comes to my mind is, will Manchester City lead to 3 Premier League trophies in a row? I think they will do it. Let's be brutally honest. Nobody's stopping them. They can even do 4 in a row, 5 in a row, 6 in a row. They're that good. They just have to establish themselves in the Champions League, win a Champions League, and they're going to go down as one of the most dominant sides we've seen in this era. And now, will they finally win the Champions League and establish themselves as world's most scary team. I think they are going to do that. They will do that. I think they have one of the best side in the world, one of the most strongest side in the world. Good base, good scouting, good structure, good team, good backups, good management, and with Pep Guardiola in the helm, I don't think there's no chance in hell that they're not going to win 3 Premier League this season. They will win this season, and they will match what United did under Sir Alex Ferguson. That brings me to the question of, can Manchester United break into top 4 this year? Now, that is a question people have been asking. They've been playing so well. People have been saying that they can finish above Chelsea, Arsenal, or even a Tottenham. They can get the top 4. They have a good chance. They've won the last 4 games in a row. I think Manchester United have played so well. They have played massively well. They have been so well in the last 4 games, and it's looking like it's a massive improvement from the previous management. For me, they're also going to get 70 points this season. There's no doubt about that. But people, let's be brutally, humbly honest. I think they're not going to have the consistency. Chelsea are a much more accomplished Premier League side in the last some years than them. Arsenal are third year into the process. Tottenham have one of the best league managers in the world in Conte. I just cannot see United getting top 4 this year. And I think it's going to be a 6th position for them. Now, the main question that arises when we preview this fixture is, can counter-attacking Manchester United beat Manchester City? That's the question I think that comes to everyone's mind, that are they going to beat Manchester City? Is their counter-attack really going to hurt Manchester City? Now, being humbly and brutally honest with you all, I think Manchester United in the counter is going to cause City a lot of problems. We know John Stones is injured. We know Aimé Laporte is injured. We know they have a lot of issues in centre back as well. And this is why Nathan Ake or Akanji might play this game. And this is where players like Rashford, Martial, if he plays, Sancho, Bruno will enjoy themselves a lot. And on the counter, I think they will catch City up. City this season have been conceding a lot of goals. And this is why I think this match is going to be defense versus attack, is going to be possession versus counter. And I think it has a 2-2 written all over, in my humble opinion. Football Creek says this match might end in a 2-2 draw, and he's happy with that as well. We are not completely there, but we will be there. Yeah, I think he is back, but he won't be available to start the game. And I think this is why I think Nathan Ake or Akanji might play this game. For United, Rashford and Martial are doubtful, but I do think at least Rashford might be made fit for this game. I think Manchester Derby is a big fixture, and I think he will get himself fit for this game as well. Now, going to the next match, and it's a very big match on different end of the table, is Leeds versus Aston Villa. Leeds are a youthful side who lost Calvin Phillips, Rafinha, and so far they've been trying to do their best so far. They've signed young players like Brendan Harrison, Tyler Adams, while Aston Villa have signed Kamara, signed Coutinho on a permanent. They have players like Ings, Watkins, but they're not making the best use of it, and this is why they're struggling. Pressure on Steven Gerrard is just piling. And so far, this fixture is going to be a very interesting watch. Now, can young Leeds United survive relegation? Yes, they will survive relegation. They have got a very good attacking quality in Harrison. They've got a very good attacking quality in, you can say, Rodrigo. They've got good attacking ability in Brendan Harrison. Tyler Adams has replaced Calvin Phillips very well. Christensen has been a good addition to the right side. I think Junior Football will be back in some time. Stuart Dallas might be back after February or March. You've also got Meslier, who's a good sweeper keeper as well. They've got a very good team. And this is why I think Leeds will comfortably survive this year. Now, can they surprise everyone with unexpected finish? I don't think so. I think their side is still very young. They will have some great games, but they will also have games like Brentford 5, Leeds 2. That is the way Leeds have been. And this is why I cannot see Leeds surprising a lot of people. And this is why I do see them finishing 13th, 14th around this season. Coming to Aston Villa, and Aston Villa have a lot of pressure on themselves as well. Steven Gerrard has spent a big money and not been successful. They were expected to be in the top 8, top 9, fighting for the top 7 spot, but they're struggling so far. They're near to relegation zone, then to the top. They're absolutely struggling so far. And will Aston Villa justify heavy investment in the team? I don't think so. I think that investment has not been on the right players, right scouting network, right profile, and I don't think they will ever justify the spending they've done. But they will stay up. Now, will Aston Villa stay far away from relegation zone? I agree. I think they have so much quality, they won't get dragged to it. But other than that, I think it's going to be a season where they'll finish 14th to 15th. That's the best I think they're going to do. And this brings me to match preview and prediction. I think it's going to be equal match where Leeds is really going to dominate attacking part, but Aston they are going to be defensively solid. I think it has a 2-2 draw written all over it. I think Leeds have a habit to concede goals. Players like Ings, Watkins will make a Leeds pay. But I think Leeds have the quality of Jack Harrison. They have the players like up front in Rodrigo. They have some very, very good players in Brendan Harrison. And that is where I think the quality will be bridged apart. And I think it's going to be Leeds United 2 and it's going to be Aston Villa 2. Moving to the next game, and this is on Leicester City versus Nottingham Forest. A very, very important game at the different spectrum of the table. It's a relegation derby for me. Are Leicester under threat of relegation? I think they are. I think they are this season. They're struggling with finances. They haven't got some big players this season as well. They're really struggling financially. And this is why I cannot see Leicester this year having a comfortable stay. But I do see Leicester surviving this year. Can Leicester break this streak? I don't think they're going to do this game. But I think they will start getting some wins when needed. They still have players like Harvey Barnes, Jamie Vardy, Madison, Castagne, Johnny Evans. They have players like Wilfred and Ndidi. Yes, he has been playing bad, but he will come back to the form he's capable of. You retail him in. I think they will do well at some point in the season and they will just survive relegation. Not do very well, but just survive it. That brings me to Nottingham Forest. Will they justify their last spending? See, people, justifying for Nottingham Forest can only be done in two ways. Either they are going to survive and it looks a masterstroke, or they will get relegated and they will never come back. Because this investment is going to put them in massive trouble when they go down. But if they stay up, then this could be a massive, great investment which can only help them to stay in the Premier League for future. So the thing with Nottingham Forest is either upward or backward. If they survive, great spending, justified. If they don't survive, pathetic spending. And that brings me on, can they survive? Now, I don't think that they will survive. I've seen their whole squad. I think they will do well. I think they will just finish near to 4 or 5 points behind the team at 17th, but I cannot see them surviving. I think still that Premier League experience is not there in the squad. Jesse Lingard is not firing. Attackingly, they haven't got a player that guarantees me at least 15 to 20 goals. Defensively, they are very weak, and that is where I think it's going to be the Achilles heels, and this is why I cannot see Nottingham Forest survive. That brings me to the final part of this match, that is the prediction, and I think a 1-1 draw is written all over it. Both sides are under massive pressure. Both sides are in a relegation threat. Both sides are out of form. Both sides have been defensively awful. And this is why I can see a very dull affair where both sides will be defensively solid. And I think it's 1-1 draw written all over it. And now talking a bit about the Fulham Newcastle game, which I forgot to add. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just forgot out of my mind. I apologize to you all. Really sorry. I'm so sorry for that. Big apologies. So now coming to the Fulham versus Newcastle game, and I think this is a very good game. These both sides are going to surprise a lot of people this season. Both sides have done some great signings. Both sides look very balanced. One side has a player like Joe Polinia, a very good midfielder. Why I think Manchester Derby will be a high scoring? I agree, sir. Ayush, sir, I absolutely agree. It has a 2-2 draw written all over it. City will be caught on the counter, and I think players like Rashford and Sancho will make them pay. But I think players like Haaland will also score on the counters, and I think this is a 2-2 draw written all over it. City have no John Stones, Laporte, so defensively they're weak as well. And I think a draw is the best result possible for me in this game. And discussing on Fulham versus Newcastle, one side is recruited so well. Palhinha has been a revelation. Mitrovic is playing so well right now. You've got Andres Pereira doing a good job. At Newcastle, they're building the team in the right way. They're defensively solid, hard to beat. And both sides are defensively hard to beat. Both sides can play some good stuff sometimes. Both the managers are doing a good job, especially Eddie Howe. And both sides are looking so good. This is one of the game to watch this week. And I think both sides will finish around 8th to 11th. And I think it's going to be Fulham 1 in this game, Newcastle 1. Because it's so difficult to separate between these sides. And that brings me to the video's final part today and discussing on the Premier League prediction here with you all. For me, the Premier League prediction for me is going to be very simple. I think Leicester and Nottingham Forest for me will be 1-1. I'm so sorry I'm not added that. I'm so sorry, people. I hope you understand. These things happen, and I hope you understand that as well. And I think these are my predictions for this game week. For me, being very honest with you all, I think Arsenal are going to get beaten at home. I think on the counter attack, I think Tottenham is going to kill them, especially with the way Arsenal played against United. A lot of possession, a lot of dominance. but there's not going to be much benefit of that. I think this is going to be a very dominant game by Arsenal. Possession, but it's not going to work. And I think they will be caught on the counter. And this is why for me, it's going to be Arsenal 1, Tottenham 3. For me, Liverpool are going to win this game 3-1 against Brighton. Brighton will score against Liverpool. There's no doubt about that. But I think the attack of Liverpool, the intensity of Liverpool will cause them massive problems. Ayush also agrees with me. Arsenal 1, Tottenham 2. And I think either of Martial Rashford is not fully fit. But I think Rashford is going to start this game, Ayush sir. I think he's going to start this game. And I think Fulham Newcastle is going to end in a 1-1 draw. It's so difficult to predict. I think Everton is going to beat Southampton away. Defensively with Tarkowski, Cody, they're going to be absolutely solid to break down. And they are going to be tough to beat. I think Palace and Chelsea, I think Chelsea will get a clean sheet. The new manager bounce. And I think it's going to be Palace 0, Chelsea 2. Along with the Bournemouth Brentford, I think it's going to be Bournemouth 1. It's going to be Brentford 2. I think right now Brentford are just too solid. Brentford are more Premier League experience. Bournemouth are lacking quality. And that is where I think they'll be caught out, especially defensively. I think West Ham and Wolves is a hard fixture to predict. Wolves are a very solid defensive side. And this is why with both sides being out of form, I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. City United, City are struggling defensively with injuries. And this is why I cannot see City win this game. And United on the counter are going to be strong as well. I think it's a 2-2 draw written all over it. With Haaland scoring in this game as well. United defensively struggling. But City also defensively struggling. And getting caught on counter by the players like Rashford, Sancho. And on Leeds and Aston Villa, I think that game is going to go in either two fashions. Either a 0-0 draw or a 2-2 draw. I think Leeds and Aston Villa are two teams which are going to be around 13 to 15th ranked. And I think Steven Gerrard has a massive pressure. Leeds are a young side. And this is why I think Leeds will score 2 goals with the quality they've got. Harrison, Aronson, Rodrigo. But I do think their youngness will cause them on the counter. And Villa will get a draw out of this game 2-2. And Leicester Forest, both sides are in trouble. The relegation derby, both sides are under massive pressure. Cannot keep clean sheets, struggling. And this is why I see both sides being very cautious. And it ending in a 1-1 draw in my humble opinion as well. Taking the question of Ayush sir here. And Ayush sir says that most probably Rashford, Sancho, and who third forward starting in the attacking. I think it's going to be Rashford, Sancho, Anthony. I think it's going to be Rashford, Sancho, Anthony, with most probably Ronaldo coming off the bench as well, if required in this match as well. So people, that was a video today. We discussed about all the Premier League fixtures. Please, people who watch this video, it doesn't take much. Just one click. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And please support the channel. Thank you so much, Ayush bhai, to be here in the chat, supporting the channel like always does. So much thanks, Ayush bhai. Big up to Football Creeks as well. He's got his own channel. Do subscribe to Football Creeks. Along with that, Potato Boy, big up to Potato Boy. Thank you so much, sir, to join the chat. And big up to PB Talks as well. And even Part Sathi, sir, who was there in the chat earlier. Thank you so much. Thank you all. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much.